Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this morning with Brody and Fred. What we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Brody's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we give is a tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Brody's going to come home with his very own training collar, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, if you notice, Brody's sitting nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for us is heeling. The command is Brody heel, and heeling is nothing more than walking nicely at your left without passing your left leg, and each time that you stop your feet, he's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So this makes walking him much more of a pleasure. You're not being dragged. He can get his exercise and still act like a gentleman, and when you stop, he sits. Now the next exercise that Fred's going to demonstrate for you is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. You're going to start out at about 30 seconds on this command and work up by about 5 seconds a day to 3 minutes. So Fred's letting him sit there for a minute, and then when he returns back to him, he walks all the way around him as an additional distraction, returning all the way back to heel position, and Brody is to remain seated until he gets another command, and Fred said Brody heel, and they took off walking again. Now, proper leash walking is probably one of the things that my owners complain about the most, that they can't walk their dogs and that they're being dragged down the street. So you can see how you can use this very well in your everyday living situations. Nice automatic sit and a stay. Fred walks out to the end of his training leash to face the dog. And this time, instead of returning back to him as he did before, he's going to give him the come command, which does include his name, Brody come. And Brody comes right in front and sits in front of Fred facing his knees. So all of these exercises have to be practiced by you at home and worked on before you can expect to go any further with him. We have to get him to the point that he knows that you're the boss, not him. But we have seen no growling, no aggression. I mean, he's a hard-headed bull terrier, there's no doubt about that, but he has not been mean. Again, Fred is going to use his name and call him. Brody should come right in front and sit. He gets a pat for praise, and then he goes back to the heel position. So far we've demonstrated for you heeling, automatic sits, sit, stay, and sit, stay, and come. And Fred will do that come command again. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. So with your dog seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay is a little bit longer than the sit stay. You're going to start out at about 1 minute, and you're going to work up to 5 minutes. These exercises can be practiced indoors as well as outdoors. When Fred returns back to him, now he got up, and all Fred said was no, down, and he completed the exercise by walking all the way around Brody, ending up back at heel. This has really been an amazing experience here with Brody, because you know how he was before, and we worked very, very hard on getting this kind of control. He's still easily distracted. That's partly age. Fred's going to give him that down command again. And everything that we're doing with him is about self-control, focus, maturity. Now this time Fred's going to call him out of that command. Comes in and sits. He has a habit of putting his foot on your foot. Now the very last exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you will be your down from a distance. So with your dog seated at your left, you leave him in a sit stay. You walk out to the end of your leash and you turn to face the dog. You're going to use your right hand to give the command, and he goes down from a distance. Now we have demonstrated for you your heel, your automatic sit, your sit stay, your down from a heel position and stay, and your down from a distance. These are the commands that Brody has learned while he's been here at school, and the ones that you are going to put on your computer and practice with him. He's a nice guy. We want to keep him that way. And thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.